Welcome back to This Is Not CBC.
Well, you're about to hear someone brag about how Canada is the greatest sovereign nation in the world, how we could be the richest, most secure place on earth, and how they're blaming Trump for everything wrong with our economy.
We live in the greatest country in the entire world, bar none. We live in the greatest sub-sovereign nation in the world, bar none. And we could be the richest, most powerful, most secure jurisdiction anywhere in the entire world.
All right, now let's pause right here because it's getting ridiculous how our government uses Tariff Trump as a scapegoat every time Canadians get squeezed. They blame the U.S. for our inflation, our supply shortages, our rising costs. But meanwhile, they quietly load tax after tax, new levies, hidden fees, and then pretend Canadians have no burden. If we paid 10% in tariffs, imagine that. Our own government toasts us with hundreds of dollars of taxes, surcharges, carbon schemes, green levies, and surprise hikes. We literally pay more in government taxes than 10% tariffs. And they say that's fair, that's necessary, that's inevitable. And do you know what's not in their speeches? Tariffs Canada imposes on the US. Yes, that's a two-way street. Some Canadian industries demand protectionism too. And nobody from the lectern mentions it because, frankly, they're not blind. They want the control, they want the power, they want you blaming someone else while they tighten the screws. So, when you hear that clip, the part about tariffs on steel, autos, lumber, pharma, critical minerals, remember they're right to worry about external pressure. But complaining about tariffs while handing you new taxes is hypocrisy. They point fingers at Trump, but what about the finger pointing back at Ottawa? So let's watch this clip, listen to the narrative about tariffs, about defense, about threat, and then keep your eyes on what's left unsaid. Hidden taxes, silent growth in government spending, ballooning deficits, and how they want you blaming the US while their own hands are hitting your wallet.
To talk about Ontario's economy, we can't do so without acknowledging the elephant in the room. President Trump continues to take direct aim at Canada. Well, he's going to really go after us now. I'm reading my speech. I just called him an elephant. But anyways, can't call that guy any name. Anyways, he's added and expanded tariffs on Canadian steel, autos, aluminum, lumber, and copper, just to name a few. He went off kilter and started to go after cabinet makers and so on and so forth. By every measure, he seems intent on putting tariffs on pharmaceuticals, semiconductors, heavy trucks, film industry, and critical minerals. Ironically, even Republicans, they don't agree with that. They don't agree with President Trump's attack on his closest allies and friends, but unfortunately, they're too scared, to the exception of a few senators, too scared to say anything.
Now, what did you hear? Did he mention that Canadians are taxed so heavily we're folded under the weight? Did he mention that when Trudeau, Carney, or any minister needs cash, they invent a new tax instead of trimming their own bloated budgets? Did he mention that Canada quietly levies tariffs on American goods too to protect local monopolies? No, because this is narrative control. They want you outraged at Trump, not your own government. They want deflection. Let me be clear, Canada is not innocent in all of this. We don't get to pretend we're the saint while pointing at the sinner next door. If your government is bleeding your pockets, stop defending them. Demand clarity. Demand a rollback of hidden charges. Demand that our leaders stop blaming other countries and start cleaning house here at home. We will not let the narrative control us. We did not elect a government to tax us blind and then blame foreign aggressors when we're suffering. Canada, look in the mirror because we all deserve better.